This will be a spoiler-free review. So, last night I saw the new horror movie It, based on the Stephen King novel of the same name. In 1990, there was also a 2-episode miniseries which starred Tim Curry as Pennywise. Now, the 2017 movie stars Jaden Lieberher as Bill Denbrough, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Dancing Clown, Jeremy Ray Taylor as Ben Hanscom, Sophia Lillis as Beverly Marsh, Finn Wolfhard as Richie Tozer, Wyatt Oleff as Stanley Uris, Chosen Jacobs as Mike Hanlon, Jack Dylan Grazer as Eddie Casbrook, Nicholas Hamilton as Henry Bowers, and Jackson Robert Scott as Georgie Denbrough, just to name the main portion of the cast. Directed by Andy Muschietti, who is also known for having written and directed the movie Mama in 2013, which was an adaptation of his short film by the same name. The basic premise of the story revolves around the town of Derry, in which children are going missing. The town has a dark past, and it all links back to the existence of a shape-shifting demonic clown called Pennywise, or, as the Loser Club, who are a group of bullied kids like to call him, It. So, going into the movie, I really hoped that I had not seen all of the best parts in the trailer, and was glad to see that there was so much more in the movie than what had been shown in the trailers. Also, having seen the miniseries in the past, I felt as though I knew exactly what was going to happen in the movie. But I was so wrong. There was a certain scene in which I felt as though I knew the direction in which it was headed. However, something happened in that scene which just made me gasp, because I was absolutely shocked at what I had just seen. I had not been expecting things to happen in the way that they did, and that is what for me made it a great movie. When watching it, I did not feel as though the movie was dragging out, or that it was going so quickly that they were missing parts out. In fact, the story was moving forwards at a great pace, which kept me interested throughout. I am a bit of a horror movie buff. I have been watching them since I have been allowed to watch them. So over the years, I seem to have built up a tolerance, and not that many horror movies seem to have an effect on me anymore. And I prefer movies that leave a psychological mark with me afterwards, and honestly, this one did. Afterwards, as I was walking to the car, in the street, a plastic bag spun past me due to the wind, and for a moment, it did make me pause and think back to the movie. That is what I mean when I talk about a psychological mark. When you start to suspect normal everyday things because of the mental impact the events of a movie have had on you. And that is something that I find the best horror movies have. The ability to stay with you long after they have ended. Now, when I was very young, I remember somehow having seen a small fraction of the movie, and during my childhood, did have a slight fear of clowns. It was not as severe as some people's. However, it was there, and it was because of Pennywise. Stephen King's whole concept of Pennywise, the dancing clown, is terrifying. Merging together the idea of a clown and a shapeshifter. I thought that Tim Curry's depiction of the clown was terrifying, and thinking that perhaps Bill Skarsgård's portrayal may not live up to my expectation. But it did. Skarsgård's Pennywise is chilling, and honestly, the stuff of nightmares. He did not disappoint. The young child actors, who made up the Losers Club, acted very well. The fear that they showed looked real, and was portrayed in a way that made you feel the fear with them. And Nicholas Hamilton took on the role of Henry Bowers very well. His actions made the audience dislike him, and he portrayed the role of a high school bully to a realistic looking standard. There was slight humour involved throughout, and it brought the attention back to the fact that at the end of the day, even though the children face so much in their everyday lives, and due to Pennywise, they are still children, and this brings a sort of innocence and naivety to their characters, in my opinion, because they act like any other young school children would. Even though there was humour, it was not the type that I would personally laugh out loud at, but rather just something that eased the tension surrounding the movie. There is quite a bit of violence, and it was explicit even when the children were involved, which is something that I was not expecting, and is not something that I personally have seen to such a degree before. There was gore in the film, however, in my opinion, it was not over the top and was there to serve a purpose, adding to the atmosphere, and it was not excessive. The advancement of graphics also helped make the movie seem realistic, really keeping the audience engaged and scared. It is not often that I sing praises of movie remakes. However, in my opinion, and I know that there will be people who disagree with me, I preferred this remake to the miniseries. I found it to be much more detailed and more fear-provoking than its predecessor. I am now eagerly waiting for the sequel, which has already been announced, and hopefully the second part will be just as good, or perhaps even better than It Chapter 1. But, until then, the mere thought of Pennywise is enough to strike fear. And I hope that you'll float too, you'll float too, you'll float too, you'll float too, you'll float too,
You'll float too.
Hello everyone, SinisterShaf here. I hope you enjoyed my review of It. If you enjoyed it, and would like me to make more movie reviews, then please like, and subscribe if you have not done so already. Also, make sure to click the bell icon, so that you can be notified when I next upload. I would definitely recommend that you watch this movie if you have not done so already. And, if you have seen it, then please leave me a comment telling me what you thought of it. And, as always, stay sinister.